Okay, doing the t-test using your calculator. Well, first, the type of problem we're looking at here is testing the mean of a sample against a specific value. For example, suppose you want to test whether the average Fredonia senior boy is taller than the average of 69.7 inches. You take a random sample of 20 boys from Fredonia and find the average height to be 71.2 inches with a standard deviation of 2.7. Well, to do this, you're going to turn your calculator on. You're going to go to Stat, Test, and this is a t-test. So when you're using this test, you're going to say, I am performing a t-test on a sample. Chances are you're going to have the stats. If you want to put the data in a list, you can. It will be under data, and then you put the list. So you go to stats. In this problem, the overall average you're testing against is 69.7. So we're going to put 69.7 for the mu naught. We said the mean is 71.2, which is probably not even close to that, but for the sake of this, we don't really care. And the standard deviation 2.7, that's pretty close to what it is. And we sampled 20 students. So the degrees of freedom is 19, in case you need to know that. We have n equals 20, and we're checking to see if they're taller. So this is a one-tailed test with the greater than mu naught selected, and we're going to calculate it. So the test that mu is greater than 69.7, t equals 2.48, p-value of 0.011. This is significant. We would reject the null hypothesis. It appears that Fredonia boys are taller, and this is a one-tailed test. If I just simply asked if they're different, that would change the test to a two-tailed test, not equal. And when we calculate this, notice that this is exactly double because we have two tails instead of one. It's the extremes on either side. And remember, the p-value is the probability the sample happened by chance. Given 69.7 is true, this would happen 2.2% of the time for a two-tailed test, 1.1% of the time for a one-tailed test. Or just want to make sure I note this, stat test. In this class, you will never use a z-test. We always assume we don't know remember that we use the t-test because we don't know the population standard deviation. If I told you in this problem that Fredonia, that nationally the average is 69.7 with a standard deviation of 2.7, that would be the case of a z-test, but the AP exam doesn't usually do that. So a t-test will always be appropriate.